a good quality company, and the difference between a struggling company is that good businesses make one decision after another with ease, and bad companies constantly have to make painful choices. In most cases, compared to the price-to-book ratio, the price-to-earnings ratio better reflects a company's profitability. In the long run, the most important thing for a company is profitability. Profits are machines piled in the open space. It is an account receivable that is difficult to collect, and there is always no cash. Such a company is worthless no matter how much profit it makes. A company with endless cash profits is valuable. We tailor our products for each subsidiary, choose the development strategy that best suits it. Our management style is full delegation of authority. We respect the actual situation of each subsidiary and let subsidiaries operate independently instead of sitting at the headquarters and giving orders to each subsidiary. Over the years, this organizational form has given Berkshire a significant competitive advantage. In the process of doing management work, the most common mistakes are, I have realized that it's time to make a substitution, but I still can't make up my mind. It took a long time to replace the unsuitable person. Even people with years of management experience can easily make this mistake. The bigger the company, the harder it is to build the right culture. If you don't believe it, look at giants like General Motors and AT&T. Their culture is basically lackluster. Large companies are particularly susceptible to the common problem of bureaucracy. This is a chronic disease that is difficult to cure. I don't know anyone who has actually made a fortune through industry rotation. Maybe some people can do it. I'm not saying no one can do it. All I know is that the rich people I know a lot of rich people who don't do that. The internet is extremely wonderful for society, but for capitalists it is a disaster. The internet can improve efficiency, but there are many things that increase efficiency but reduce profits. The internet will make American businesses make less money, not more. This is how business is done. Whoever gets in first, whoever suffers the hardship first will finish it first. Whoever gets the upper hand will not only have to suffer all the hardships again, and we have to face competitors who have already taken the lead. Throughout business history, many companies have had great successes, made a lot of money, but when they were eliminated by the new wave of technology, their wealth will soon be depleted, and they will eventually die. In Buffett's eyes, a good manager looks like this. You throw him off the train. Throw him into a remote town and don't give him any money. He operates honestly and conscientiously in this small town. It won't be long before I make a fortune again. The price of going public has become very high. It makes little sense for a small company to seek to go public. Many small companies are smuggling their way to private ownership. In this way, we can get rid of the cumbersome burden of listed companies. Speaking of mistakes I've seen in business throughout my life, excessive pursuit of tax avoidance is a common reason for people to do stupid things. I've seen people do really bad things to avoid taxes. Although Buffett and I are not oil diggers, but we have paid all the taxes we should pay, and we are living well now. If someone tries to sell you a tax avoidance package, don't buy it. If you see this world clearly, it must be humorous because of its absurdity. Life is a series of opportunity costs. You want to marry the best person you can find. Investing is so similar to this. To get something you want, the surest way is to make yourself worthy of it. Everyone has to find out your strengths. Then you have to use your strengths. If you try to succeed at your worst, I'm sure your career will be in shambles. You must know what you can do, what you can't do on your own. When the odds are not on my side, I never bet. Whether it is horse racing or gambling, I have never lost money. The way to be a winner is to work, and hope to spot a few opportunities. I know all the wise men in this life. There is no one who doesn't like reading. Buffett and I have read enough books to scare you to death. My kids tease me about being a book with 2 legs sticking out. For most people, they still pursue specialization. Having a skill with you is the right way. Having said that, specialization is important, but broad knowledge is also indispensable. On the basis of specialization, spend 10% or 20% of your time learning the main knowledge of different subjects. This is more reasonable. Otherwise, what to say? I have a common metaphor, only specialized, not broad. You are like a man with only 1 leg who competes with others to kick ass. You will definitely lose. I always believe in learning the best things from others, instead of sitting there and thinking hard to figure out the reasons. We strive long and hard not to do stupid things, so we gain much more than those who try to do smart things. It is too difficult for the next generation to change, and the common ending is mediocrity. There are many people who pursue success, but few who achieve it. Discipline, virtue, friends, opportunities, they're all simple things. Know the boundaries of your own circle of competence. Very, very important. You have to always compare what you can do, what others can do. You need to remain rational at all times. Especially don't lie to yourself. You must have a strong interest in finding out the reason behind what is happening. If you can maintain this mentality for a long time, your ability to focus on reality will gradually improve. If you don't have this mentality, then even if you have a high IQ, you are doomed to fail. Don't wrestle with a pig because you will get your whole body dirty, but the other party enjoyed it endlessly. In general, jealousy, complaining, hatred, and self-pity both are catastrophic states of mind. Excessive self-pity can make people borderline paranoid. Paranoia is one of the hardest things to reverse. Don't wallow in self-pity. For complex adaptive systems and the human brain, problems often become easier to solve if you think backwards. I feel like I'm not qualified to have an opinion unless I can rebut my position better than my opponent can. I think I am qualified to express an opinion only when I have reached this point. When you encounter a tragedy that is difficult for you to accept, you can never get rid of its troubles. Repeated failures in life turn one tragedy into 2 or 3. The species that can survive is not the strongest, not the smartest, but the most adaptable to change. We succeed not because we are good at solving problems. It's because we're good at staying away from problems. We just find simple things to do. Don't get stuck in a victimized mood and be unable to get out of it. Always thinking it's everyone else's fault is a very harmful way of thinking. If you keep thinking this way, in the end, no one will want to have anything to do with you. You shouldn't think so. When your age increases day by day, you will become more and more tolerant of your old friends, and at the same time, but you will tolerate your new friends less and less. Remember this, whether you are right or not has nothing to do with whether others agree with you. The only thing that can determine whether you are right or not is whether your analysis and judgment are correct. It's easy to live a happy life. To be happy, number 1, lower your expectations. This is something you can control yourself. Always holding unrealistic expectations is doomed to a lifetime of misery. I'm very good at lowering my expectations, and I'm doing well because of it. When you are in adversity, You must have the courage to grit your teeth and the hard work and hard work, resentful and grumbling. It can only get harder and harder. The important thing is not what cards you draw. It's about whether you can play the cards in your hand well.